Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Maria and I'm finally back with a new makeup tutorial, and this time it's gonna be full face. It's actually my first time I'm in front of the camera like this. It's not gonna be a close-up eye. Before we get into the tutorial, I want to talk about how I lost access to my account, which is Mariajbeauty, and I had almost 13,000 followers. I worked 2 years on that account and I just lost access to that account like that. Anyway, so what happened was I deactivated my account, and when I tried activating it again, Instagram asked me for a verification code. So I have this app called Duo, which is connected to my Instagram, and it creates verification codes. Now, when Instagram was asking me for that code, the code was not working anymore. So the codes that Duo app is generating, they are not working for that account anymore, and I did email Instagram a couple of times. They did get back to me, but they did not resolve the issue. So it took me everything to just start over and forget about my old account and just start fresh from scratch. And now my new page on Instagram is Mariajbeauty. So that is how I lost access to my account, which is okay. We can always start fresh, start new. So let's move on to the tutorial, and if you want to find out how I created this look, just keep on watching. So I will go ahead and use the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Ginger, and I'm applying this all over my eyelid as an eyeshadow base, and of course to clean up my brows as well. And I'm using the Morphe M224 brush. For my eyeshadow, I'm gonna start off with the shade Chip from the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is my all-time favorite palette ever. So I'm gonna apply this in my outer corner and crease with a pencil brush. You want to make sure that you apply the eyeshadow in stamping motions, so you just pick up the color and just stamp it on your eyelid. To blend the darker eyeshadow out, I'm gonna use a lighter shade, so I'm using Mocha from the same palette, and I'm going to blend it out with my E36 brush from Sigmabeauty. I'm using a precise blending brush because I want to create a nice transition between Chip and Mocha, and I'm just preparing it for the next lightest shade so that we don't have any harsh lines or something like that showing on our eyelid. Next, I'm taking the Morphe M441 brush, which is a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to just blend out the edges with two eyeshadows from the same palette, and I'm using the shade Silk Cream and Pooter, and I'm just going in the edges and just blending it really nicely out. Next step is cutting your crease, so I'm just going to do a half cut crease, but I will cut 2/3. So basically I will just apply concealer on 2/3 of my eyelid, and to create a really nice and sharp line, I'm using my eyeliner brush and some concealer. So just take your time with this step and make sure it's even on both sides. Taking the Sigma Volume 2 palette, I'm using the shade Beaming on a flat brush, and I'm just applying this on my eyelid, and I'm using a lighter shade in my inner corner. To blend out the outer corner, I am using the shade Rouge from the same palette, and I'm just blending out the edge between the outer corner and the shade Beaming. So next, I'm just finishing up the eyes with eyeliner, mascara, and lashes. So moving on to my face, I am applying some color corrector on my dark circles and around the mouth area. So I'm using the Vasanti VO2 color corrector, and I'm just blending it out into my skin with a sponge. So after color corrector, I like to use a concealer shade that is exactly my skin tone. So I'm taking the shade Ginger again, and I'm just applying this everywhere I applied the color corrector and on some blemishes on my cheeks. This step is just to create an even skin tone and to prep the skin for the next step. For my face, I'm using the MAC Face and Body and the Studio Fix Fluid. So I'm just applying that all over my face and blending it out with my beauty blender. To clean up the brows, I'm just using a brush and just cleaning up the edges with the same foundation. Next, I'm just taking the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus and just spraying my face, and I go in again with my beauty blender and just to create a really nice and smooth finish. To contour or bronze up my face, I'm using this warm toned concealer by NYX, which is called Above and Beyond Concealer, and it's in the shade Cappuccino, I believe. So I'm applying this under my cheekbones, on my forehead, on my jawline, but not on my nose. So I'm just using this to create a base for my bronzer. To highlight my face, I'm using the MAC Prolonger Concealer in the shade NC25. I'm using that under my eyes, on top of my Cupid's bow, on my chin and my T-zone, and I'm just gonna blend it out with my Morphe beauty sponge. To bronze my face, I'm using my most favorite contour palette ever. This is by Morphe and it is the Hi-Fi Sculpt and Shimmer palette. So I'm just blending this really well under my cheeks, on my forehead, and a little on my nose as well. And don't forget the jawline too. So I decided to apply a little more concealer around the mouth area just to cover it up more, and then I'm going ahead and just baking the under eyes, and I'm making sure to just look up so that I don't have any creases underneath. To finish up the eyes, I'm just applying Mocha and Chip on my lower lash line and just blending it really well. For my waterline, I'm using the Essence eye pencil. This is the Extreme Lasting eye pencil in a light color. For blush, I'm using the MAC Burnt Pepper blush, and I'm just applying this on the apple of my cheeks. So my skin eats a lot of blush, so I have to make sure that I apply double as much as somebody else would do, because after about 30 minutes you could not even see the blush on my face anymore, because I just don't know why it just fades away after some time. To finish up the look, I'm just lining my lips and I'm going ahead and applying some lipstick on top. This is my most used lipstick these days. I'm just wearing this everywhere I go, and this is the lipstick by MAC Cosmetics in the shade Down to an Art. Last but not least, we are applying some highlighter, and I'm using the Zayn Dada highlighter. So this was the complete tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching.